Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan, the channel where we share your crazy, peculiar, bonkers stories. So let's begin with today's very long Thailand story. Hello Dan, my name is Michael and I am 61 years of age and come from Australia. Firstly, I would like to thank you for having such an informative YouTube platform in Thai Talk with Dan and Thailand Bound. It has helped me so much the last 2 months and opened my eyes up to experiences in my journey so far and into the future. Very straight to the point, real stories from other men that has had good and bad Thailand experiences. Thank you guys and keep up the essential good work, and thank you again. Like you say Dan, get ready, go get a beer and strap yourself in. This is from the very start of my Thailand experience so far. In each trip to Thailand, I have added a song or two just to make it a little bit different for you and your viewers. Will also relate to it in some way. So this will have to be broken down into a series or something. You will know how to do this, and it is now starting to turn into a Thai girl meets good Aussie bloke magazine. Right guys, well seeing that I've not posted for about a week, I thought I would just give you this epic long story. So like the subscriber said, grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a beer, strap yourself in and get ready for another Thailand tale. So I will tell you a bit about how it first started. I was an Aussie woman for 13 years and getting on okay, not living with each other. I was quite happy with this arrangement, but she wanted more, so I was pushed into getting married, or she was going to piss me off, so I got married after 7 years. As soon as we were married, things started to turn sour, so I knew I did the wrong thing by marriage. So we had to go on the honeymoon. At this time, I had never left Australia and gone overseas before, and my new wife had been to Thailand with her ex-husband 2 times with him before they parted ways and suggested that we go there. I said, do we have to? Why not just holiday in Australia? I don't want to go overseas. So my son and a few of my mates told me that I will have a good time and enjoy myself, so I agreed. So off to Thailand, my wife and I go to Phuket in 2018 for 1 week.
Good luck.
So we landed at Phuket and stayed at a very expensive resort in Karen Beach, which was really nice, as the wife had arranged everything. Well, Dan, I just could not believe what sort of place this was, and there was a place in the world like it. So on this trip, I was mostly the husband and wife holidaying thing, going to the islands and elephant riding, etc., and enjoy what Thailand has to offer. Of course, the bars most of the time. So while I was there, I got a tattoo. I was at the tattoo shop for 4 hours at a time for 2 days, and on the second day it was about 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and it had been a big session at the tattooist, and all I wanted to do was just sit and have a drink on my own for an hour before I went back to the resort where my wife was relaxing. This is going to be the first encounter with a Thai girl touch. I left the tattooist and had only walked about 30 foot down the street, looking only for a bar to have a drink. And this absolutely beautiful 25-year-old Thai girl come up to me and say, "Do you want a massage?" I said, "I am not really looking for a massage, but I am looking for a beer." She said, "No worries, I can get you a beer, come with me." So we went into a little room with a curtain. Then she pulled it shut and said, give me some baht and I get you beer. So I did. She come back with 2 beers and we drank that, and meanwhile convinced me to have massage, and the rest is history. With my first taste, a gorgeous Thai girl, and could not get over how easy to do such a thing without trying. Oh my god, so that was the first encounter in Thailand. So I behaved myself for the rest of my honeymoon, asking myself, why did I get married in the first place, as I didn't really want to, and this could be why I was reluctant in the first place maybe. Something could have been telling me there was the promised land waiting for me.
Shit just got real.
And he states, the song for this is 7 Wonders by Fleetwood Mac. So back in Australia, life goes on, as it did before, working in my business, and like all the other men that go to Thailand, I got the Thailand Thai girl bug. That is like something that gets in your head and does not leave, and gets a man wanting to get back there again. This is addictive as any drug on earth. It is very hard to explain, but you and your viewers will know what I am talking about. So it would not let go. I just had to go back there. So I asked my son and 2 mates if they wanted to go for a bloke's trip to Thailand. This was in June 2018, for only 3 months after my very first trip. So me and my son and 2 mates were off to Thailand again. Hooray! And the new wife was all good about it, but could not understand my thinking. I was so happy at this stage and could not wait to arrive again, just the boys and myself for 1 week. How much fun are we going to have? Can't wait, so excited. The song is Kisan by Cold Chisel. Of course, that song actually does in a way warn men. So we arrived at Phuket airport at night and went to the hotel in Patong. This time, in the middle of all the action, I was really taken in by the friendly people the Thai are and beautiful women there. And as I was so green to how Thailand really works, I really wish I had done some research and seen your YouTube videos first. I really do know it would have helped me so much more, but I am now learning the hard way. So on this trip, I was like a kid in the corner shop, picking out assorted lollies to put in my lolly bag. Just could not believe how many of these girls found me that attractive, and so many like me so much and so easy to have. I have never had any problems getting women in Australia, but the sheer amount of these girls that were there for the taking was unreal. I found it hard at the start when the bar deals come into it, and probably got ripped off a lot by the bar amount of baht and the girl amount, but didn't really matter on that trip, as it was fun. I had girls every night and they were all fine and had no problems with any of them. They serviced me and I was happy. And they were all not bar girls. They were a couple of Thai girls from Bangkok, which were good girls as well, and no money involved. So I was happy and green at the same time, just enjoying Patong and totally blowing my mind, thinking how a place like this really exists on this planet. Wow, there is a God, I thought. At this stage, I had in my mind that these poor girls are forced to do all this going with men, as they are all trying to escape to another country for a better life. That is what I was getting told at the time by different people in Australia, and some even in Phuket. And I felt sorry for these girls. I wished I came over a lot earlier in life and found one of these girls to marry. I have realised too late, as I just got married. So I really did not know anything on this trip. So I had a week of bliss and was very sad and even depressed to have to leave and go back to Australia. I think I had to stop my tears at the airport in front of my mates and son, which also had a good time. but I had the most fun as they kept on telling me it's bros, not hoes, but all good. They understood my addiction. This song is Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses.
Welcome to the jungle.
So back in Australia again, doing the same daily routines as before, still with Thailand on my mind, but this time even worse than before, knowing that I am not sure when I will be able to escape again and return. But I got a little lucky. My wife advised me as I had gone to Thailand with the boys, she has arranged a holiday with her sister to go overseas to Europe for a month. I said, that will be nice, dear. What am I going to do while you are away? She seemed to not really care, so I thought, hey up, I'll go back to Thailand, Patong again with a mate. With that, I started to prepare my trip. Bloody hell. With that, I started to prepare my trip. This was in March 2019. This was 9 months since I was there last. At this time, my relationship with my wife was here nor there. We actually got on better before we got married, as we could not agree on a lot of things, and the problems with her children and my son became very toxic. But I will not go into this too much, as this story is about Thailand and Thai girls. So, here we go again, on the Big Bird, heading back to Phuket, just my mate and myself. We landed at Phuket airport and back onto the shuttle taxi to Patong, and I had my lolly bag open and ready to go for another week of sheer fun and laughter. Life is so good and I can't wait. So, here we go again. We got in late, so we went to our rooms and settled in for the night so we could start fresh in the morning, and decided we would approach this visit in a different style as we'd done before. During the day, we would go and do things we have not done before, shooting range, different bars, and just looking at different things that we did not see before. And at night, go to this good bar with good bands on Bangla Road to just chill out, and the bar girls there are really good, and we have a good laugh with them, and we're really good value and not that pushy to throw drinks at you so much. A lot better than Hooters, where we were going before and costing us a fortune, and didn't think it was worth the money, and the entertainment was a lot better there. We also went to the go-go bars and found that was a big money pit, but you know that when you enter, and that is where you can't win against the Thai ladies of Thailand. On one occasion, I was at the bar spending good money, playing the bar games with the girls, and the girl behind the bar, which was serving me, was chatting good, and I asked her if she will get up and dance. She said she doesn't dance. I said, how much would it take for you to dance? She then went over and asked Mama-san, and came back and said 1,000 baht and she will. Okay, that's good. I gave the 1,000 baht and I was waiting for about 20 minutes and asked when it's going to happen. And she said, just wait, and kept coming up with different excuses. I said, don't worry about it. Just give me my money back and I will have another drink then. She went and got Mama-san over and she told me she not dance. Okay, where is my money? I asked her. She said, no, that tip for bar girl, and started to get angry. So I left and never went back again to that bar. I thought I would throw that one in, a little experience I had at one of the very many bars. So anyway, getting back to it, I had girls every night and paid the money they wanted, and each one I would have a chat with while just chilling out between how's your father sessions, trying to get my head around all this crazy way of Thai girls. I have been always attracted to bad, wild girls with tattoos that drunk alcohol and partied hard in Australia, and know how to talk to them and bring the wild side out in them and form a trusting bond. Funny. Wait, guys, wait. Trusting bond. with them so they would loosen up and talk to me about just anything after a while. But there is a difference with Thai girls, as you might ask them something, and if they do want to tell you, they just look at you and say nothing, and you ask them again and just clam up until you ask them something else. So after a while, I would play with them to make them talk in a trusting way, and most would talk. One of my questions was, so how many penis have you had in your life? Of course, I would get the blank stare at first and then ask them in a different way. I say, all Thai girls have a lot of man in their life. Some tell me they have 1,000 plus men. How many have you had, my sweet princess? She'd go, no, I only have about 400, so not that many. I just laugh and say to her, wow, I am very lucky, man. You are brand new. Oh. But I've lost myself. You are a brand new. Oh my God. And she think I am making her feel good, and she happy then. So in this, when you do get with one of these girls, just think where you are ranked on her how's your father list. It is like they are building something in bricks, and you are another brick in the wall. But they were all nice to me and never had any bad times. And they did not thief anything from me as I was on my guard. They actually taught me about their Thai cultures a little, which I found very interesting. So that is pretty well my stay in the land of crazy, sexy Thai women that will do anything to please Aussie men. Really don't matter where you come from though. So time to get back to Australia again and get back to the same old routine. So this song is Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd.
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
So back in Australia and getting on with it. I was still thinking about Thailand, and then the world got hit with the lockdown, with the virus. So with everything going on locally in my country, Thailand thoughts went away for a while. So lockdown was over, and I was still a married man, but it was all wearing down by now. And I know we were both thinking the same result, but as couples do, just try till you can't any longer. So the wife surprised me by saying to me she had to leave from work, and since lockdown we had not gone for a holiday for quite a while. Where would you like to go, she asks. I knew where I wanted to go, but not wanted to say. But to my surprise, she said, you would like to go to Thailand again. So I of course said that would be nice. We organised a holiday for March 2023, with me thinking in my mind that this is probably the last holiday we go on, a divorce holiday I had in the back of my mind. So we were heading back to Thailand for 10 days, and I was getting happy to just have a break for a while and have a good look at all the Thai women and just have a good time, even if I had the wife with me. So we were there at the resort, not far from Patong Beach, which this time I chose as it was the perfect location. My wife didn't venture out of the resort much and rather let me go out and explore and do my own thing, and I would have dinner most of the time at the resort restaurant, which was really good food. But the manager in charge was this 37-year-old single Thai woman that really took a liking to me and played up to me something bad in front of my wife, and she had no trouble hiding this, as this was happening every time we went to dinner. At dinner one night, she asked my wife if she was finished with me, as she wanted to have me, and the wife said just take him, jokingly, but the bar manager was very serious. I felt very flattered by this, and at least thought I was still attractive by younger women. Wow. During the days and nights I would go down to the beach and to the bars and just hang out on my own, and sometimes my wife would come with me, but not that much. On my way to the beach, every time I would pass a massage parlour, and right near it was an upstairs massage parlour which does the very happy endings. So my wife and I went in and get our feet pedicured and a massage. That was all good, but every time after that, when I was on my own, all the girls would joke and laugh with me. But at the front of the upstairs massage, there was always a really good looking Thai girl, always sitting on a stool. So on one of my days walking to the beach, I stopped and talked to her, and she asked if I would like a massage, as she does not get many customers today. So I said on my return, I will, if she is still here on the stool. So I went to the beach and went back, and she was still there. So I took her up on her offer, and she charged me 2,000 baht for the lot, and it was worth every penny. As she was a really nice and good looking girl with really nice tattoos. Bad boy for love, Rose tattoo. So it was nearing the end of our holiday, and on our last day, me and my wife didn't really have much to talk about. So while we were having a drink, we'd come to a decision to get a divorce and move on quietly, and we both agreed to each other's terms, and when we get back, we will get on with a quick divorce. The song here is A Good Year for the Roses by Elvis. So now, I am a separated 61-year-old man, and Thailand is definitely on my radar. Hoping to get back to Thailand to save one of these poor Thai girls and give her a nice, stable, married life to a good, generous, hard-working Aussie man with even intentions of buying a condo or an apartment in Thailand. So how do I start this journey? Talking to my son and a few others, they recommend I go on dating sites before I go over there and meet a few women on my arrival. Okay, this seems fair enough. So here we go. I will give this a shot. I haven't been on a dating site for 13 years. There is so many. Let's try this one. It was Thai Asian, and there were so many Asian women to choose from. I set up my profile and away I go. Wow! So many Thai girls were hitting on me. I just could not believe I got so much interest. But after a while, I found they were trying to scam me to go to join other dating sites, and once I joined them, they would vanish. Gone. Not all, but most of them did this. I talked to a few, but did not lead to anything, only disappointment. Every time. So I thought, this site is not good for me, so found another site which was called Thai Cupid, which was more genuine and did not scam as much, very little, and gave good warnings about scams. So I stayed on this one and still had Thai Asian in the background, and sometimes would go on to see if I could just get lucky. After a few weeks, I talked to a lot of girls, but most of the time it just faded away, just wasting my time. But things started to change. I started talking to a number of girls and took them away from the site and did Google chat where we would get to know each other better and exchange photos, etc. So after talking to heaps of different Thai girls, I had chosen 4 to talk to and tried to set up a meeting for my next visit. Well, I put it in order of the Thai girl I liked the most and so forth. We will call her Sexy Sally from Bangkok, a single 36-year-old girl with no kids looking for a man to get married to. Okay, sounds good to me. But this girl and I started to get to know each other so much, I was sitting up until 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, trying to type each other for about 6 weeks. I was very tired each day, as Australia is 3 hours in front of Thailand and 4 hours in daylight savings time. But found out a lot about her, as I was very green at the time. A lot of what I have watched on your programme is very true with this girl. Firstly, she said about the big wedding, and Mum was so thrilled she had met a nice Falang man. Sexy Sally, eh? Sexy Sally and her mum. Happy. Happy, happy. So I offered her to come to Phuket and stay with me for 5 days, which she agreed to and started planning this. She also said she needed money for girly things. I thought that is okay, as I was too, and did buy her the plane ticket. When she gave me her bank details and said I will need about 400 Australian dollars. Wow, I was thinking $100 would be more than enough until we met, and she thought I was a cheap Charlie. I reckon, come to think about it now, I said don't worry about it too much because I will look after you when you arrive. She said she wants to look good on arrival, as she is not one of them gorilla-looking bar girls in Patong. So at this stage I had not sent the money until I was about to leave. We talked and I told her I had a business, and she told me that she did beauty on a contract basis and also sold cosmetics for a living and did okay, but could do better. So a few days went by and she approached me for 2,500 Australian dollars for a business venture that she could make a lot of money from.
No!
I nearly fell off my chair and told her I don't even know her and even met her to do such a transaction. And she started to show her true colours now, but I still carried on, and she was very short with me when I rejected her business deal. So she then started talking about money for the trip again. So I said to her, I am not used to women asking for money off me. We call these people in Australia a beggar, a person that has no money to their name. Wow, she went off a tree at me, and after a few days we made up again and still started planning the trip. I hope you decided to drink a beer instead of a coffee, guys, yeah? I'll say that much. So we will go to the second one I liked because I was starting to see what Sexy Sally was all about, and when she had the shits with me and stayed away for a couple of days, I would talk to Knock, we will call her. Well, this one I got along with and was just to me an honest girl working in a massage parlour, just wanting to start a new life away from Thailand and willing to move anywhere I lived because I gave her hope and respect. Knock was only 25 years old. She was looking good apart from the massage job. I was really not keen in this, but we made plans to meet when I got there. So number 3 was a tiny little 35-year-old virgin that was helping out at a Buddha temple and also wanted to marry before we had How's Your Father, and had to ask the uncle for his advice in this, as I had convinced her she needed to have How's Your Father to become a woman and how much she had already missed out in life. And this girl was actually doing my head right in. And I told her I was not really looking for a virgin and all this asking Buddha and uncle for advice. But as I was putting her off, she started to come on stronger and told me all she wanted to do was to turn her into a woman, as I talked to her like no other man did and told the uncle I was the one that needs to do the deed. I thought maybe a good offer, but may also be a big mistake. But I will meet up when I come over there and take it from there. I felt sorry for this girl, as she never asked for money, and the way she talked, she was a poor thing. I actually nearly sent her a little bit, but she was so skinny and told me she would not eat every day. We will call her Tanya Temple. And then finally, there was number 4. She is 30 years old and works in retail and doesn't get a lot of money. We will call her Lucy Loose, as she would send me all these good pictures of her and good gestures in these pictures and sounded like a really fun girl to meet, and was also in Bangkok, and also offered her the same deal as Sexy Sally to buy her a plane ticket to come to Phuket. Everything was going okay with her until my phone is old and I would like a new one, as we could talk online app and it would be a lot better than Google Chat. and asked me if I would send her 7,000 baht for a phone, and she will not ask me for anything while she is staying with me. As I said to Sexy Sally, I won't be sending any money other than me buying the plane ticket and sending it to her, and I will buy her things only when we meet. She seemed to be okay with this, but she did lose interest and not talk to me as often, but she said she was going to come and meet me still. So, with all the girls waiting for me to give the date I was coming, all was set. One would think out of 4 girls all met on dating sites, I would at least find one that would be a match. Maybe. I booked my holiday for 2 weeks in Patong, again in July 2023, with my same mate that come with me last time. But he was only staying for a week and heading home, leaving me to sort out my Thai girl love life. So there was only 3 days to go until I get back on the big bird again, bound for Thailand. Now, Sexy Sally was on my case, wanting me to send her money, so I gave in. So I went to the bank, as I have never sent money overseas before. And while at the bank, the girl serving said, "This code is not right, and you need her address before we process it." So I went to the car and texted Sexy Sally on WhatsApp, and she went off, saying it always goes into my account. Well, I said, "You do this before, do you?" She just come back saying the code is correct, and I was not even at the bank at all, and was just playing games with her, and explained her customers that buy her cosmetics off her do not have any problems. So I took a picture of the bank I was at, and she settled down. Of course she did. And I told her I would not send her the money as soon as I arrived, as she already had the plane ticket in her name and booked for 3 days after I arrived in Phuket. And I had Lucy Loose coming the following week, so that was all good. And she was only staying for 3 days, and Nok already was in Patong, so I could see her anytime really. And for Tanya Temple, I still was not sure to do about that one. That was a bit concerning for me, but I was still sort of in for a cup of tea or something, as she did not drink alcohol. She might be too pure for me, maybe, but everything is set to go. Guys, I'll let you in on something. I've not even read this yet. I'm just reading it now as it goes. This is just crazy. So, I jumped on the big bird, and next thing, here I am again in Phuket. So excited. I arrived at the resort. Not long after I arrived, Sexy Sally contacted me and started another fight, demanding I send the money for her personal items she needs like right now, or she is not coming to see me. Seems she was just waiting for me to arrive there to give me a hard time yet again. So I told her that I didn't even fight with my wife as much as I have done with her, and I haven't even met her yet. So she stopped talking to me for a couple of days until the past date if the ticket expired, but she didn't know I cancelled 24 hours earlier and got some of my money back. She was just trying to stress me out again. By this time, I was getting fed up with her attitude. So in the evening, I got talking to Nok and told her I was in Patong and would like to meet up with her. And you would not believe it. She said there is something I should know about her. Okay, what is it? She then tells me she is transgender. Oh my God, I say I am very disappointed she did not tell me this earlier. Wow, so Nok was now gone. I thought this is turning out to be really depressing. I didn't want to get Lucy Loose there yet, so I just had to make up new plans. Song for this is Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi.
Shot to the heart, and you're too late, darling. You give love a bad name.
This guy's mental. Funny. So over all the trips I have had in Phuket, I have made a lot of Thai friends that I have talked to and had beers with from my tattooist. Tuk-tuk drivers, bar owners and staff, resort managers and others, and had made friends with a tomboy lady that does lanterns and fireworks at the beach with other guys that hang down there selling beers and such. And were really good people that if I ever need something, they were always there for me, anything I needed. So with the girls I had chosen on the dating site slowly dwindling away from me as I was in need to find myself a good, honest Thai girl. Anyway, as I mentioned before about the Thai princess on the stool at the massage parlour's front door, she was there again. So I offered her 4,000 baht per day, per night, for 2 days. All good. She agreed, and I had a really good time with this girl. She was just like a pet. When I wanted, how's your father? She always said, okay. Went to the beach, just chilling, no worries. Dress up and go out, no worries. And dressed really nice on any occasion that I wanted to do. She obliged. So nice and good girl to be with, also knowing that she is happy with her life as it is and not looking for a relationship. Very honest and straight up, all good I thought. So that was over and back to looking each night, but to no avail for the Thai girl love of my life. This went on for a whole week with nothing happening on the Aussie meets Thai girl love story. All it was just going to bars, meeting bar girls that I have worked out they only want money, and this was happening everywhere I was going to. I talked to a few of the local people, telling them that I was here looking for a genuine girlfriend, in which they all told me I am wasting my time looking here. I need to hire a Harley and go to the jungle. Jungle, I thought. Am I ready for this? I had not thought about doing this big adventure on this trip. And one of my Thai friends said I could be looking for a good girl for a year or more. I then felt so deflated, and my thoughts of finding a woman was not so easy. As I had thought at the start of this, my thinking of finding someone was not going to be this hard. I was really starting to get tired of the Bangla Road scene and all the other bars, and one night I was so depressed with the thought of me finding no one and going back to Australia with nothing was not a good thought, but I still had good times with the bar girls. They are good value if you are not looking for a relationship, but I think you could get one of these bar girls if you are both into the same things. I still believe this, but to have a bar girl, you have to be a strong person that are used to wild party girls, and you know how to handle them, as like these girls all over the world are. But Thai girls are a lot smarter, and it takes a strong man that is used to these types of women to try to keep the upper hand, which can be a full-time job and not for the faint-hearted man spewing out their heart to them and being vulnerable, especially if you are an older man. Right guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to use this as part 1 and I will upload part 2 tomorrow, as it's quite a long story. But let us know your thoughts below, and also, do you think he's going to have a success in Thailand, or do you think this story is just bound to be an epic failure? Let us know down in the comments, and if you've got your own Thailand story that you want to share on the channel, then get it sent in to thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. Once again guys, apologies for being very quiet over the past week. I just needed a bit more time out. I've played around with the apartment, I've moved it around and tried to get set up now as best as I can to start delivering these stories to you. Now I do have a huge backlog of stories, so I'm hoping now I can get into a routine and just start getting these stories out and trying to catch up. So when you're sending in your story, I can start delivering it on the channel pretty quickly. So guys, get your stories shared, and if you already have shared a story, it will be going live shortly.